so excited to chat with you both today about the upcoming season of Welcome to Plathville. What can you share about what fans can expect to see this season?
A lot of stuff.
I will say it starts out a little rocky for Ethan and I as we work through a ton of stuff in our marriage and personal lives. So yeah, we definitely got pretty comfortable and fought a little and cussed a little, but stick with it to the end of the season. There's so much personal growth, so much growth that we make as a couple, and some really fun, exciting decisions that come at the end of all of the hard work. So
I was actually going to ask, that was my next question. Would you be able to touch a bit about how your relationship has grown or changed with each other since you were starting on the show? I know watching people go through relationship issues is a really relatable topic, I feel like, for a lot of viewers.
Yeah, it is. I feel like our relationship has changed since we've been on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it kind of went downhill for a while, and now we're working on trying to put it back together. Well, it can be really difficult to put all that stuff out there for everyone, you know.
For sure. I think like, especially in this season, our relationship equalizes in a lot of ways, and it sounds kind of weird to say that, but from season one, Ethan was like fresh out of his parents' house and discovering so many things. And I think like our relationship wasn't equal in the fact that like I was often the one that made the decisions and decided what to do and called the shots. And I think like this season, not only does Ethan have the space to grow into himself as a person, but I think like I kind of came to like terms of I don't want to be this person in the relationship. And we started working on making sure both people were seen, heard, valued, and had equal opinions, I would say. Yeah. But our relationship has changed that way this past year of creating a safer place for both people.
I mean, for me, I kind of had to change from what I saw growing up, which was my dad kind of just went along with what my mom wanted to do. And that's what I did for a while, maybe 2 years or whatever of our marriage. I started to see that wasn't working because that's not what you wanted me to be.
It's kind of weird because like I have a very strong personality, and like, yeah, Ethan was really passive, and I think a lot of people thought that I like wanted to control him or whatever. And I think I was wrestling internally with, I had been controlled by my dad my whole life. And I was like, well, I'm like a strong, badass person. I can make my own decisions. And I was running so hard from that, but I kind of bulldozed over Ethan in the process. So I think like through this year and this season, we both find out more of who we are, what we want, how that works in a marriage, and how to be two equals coming to the table.
I feel like navigating a relationship in a marriage is like hard enough even when you're not in the spotlight. So I feel like I applaud you both for being able to put it all out there, because I feel like nobody knows me, and my marriage is like, it's tough, it's tough no matter what. So I feel like it all just like sticking with each other. That's what's important. Olivia, I was also going to say, I saw you posted something really relatable. I've related to it a lot on Instagram, talking about your wedding ring and speculation about your marriage. And personally, I don't wear my wedding ring a lot when I go out because I'm always worried about it losing it or getting it stolen or something. So I feel like nobody talks about that type of thing. How do you deal with and navigate having your relationship in the public eye and people pick apart these tiny little things that like normally nobody would be like, where's your wedding ring? Why aren't you wearing it? Just in regular life.
Yeah, living life in the public eye is definitely like living in a fishbowl where everyone's looking in from a different side, having a different perspective and having an opinion. And there are times that it can be like super discouraging. Or frustrating. And I'm just like, really, why are we asking these questions? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But I will say, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like I've gotten better about dealing with that over time. In the very beginning, it was all crushing. Like, I don't know if my ego was fragile, but I was just like, why do all these people say this stuff? And I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm like, their opinion's their opinion. Sometimes I'll answer Q&As like that because, especially the question of where's your wedding ring? Like, I get that so much and I'm so tired of it. So I was like, let me just answer this once and for all. But for the most part, I'm able to just be like, oh, okay, that's your opinion, doesn't pay my bills, doesn't enhance my life. So you don't get to live rent free in my head.
I also saw on Instagram that you said you'd both like to one day redo your wedding. Looking to the future, if you were to do that, what would be like your ideal wedding redo?
Well, I mean,
We
I would
actually
like-
haven't talked about this.
yeah, we haven't really talked
We've
about
said
it.
like we want to redo this, but we haven't talked about details.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we probably have an idea, a very rough idea, but we don't have any details. I would let you pick the venue for sure.
I was gonna say, like,
So
in
I'm
my
staying out of
head,
that.
I could tell you everything I wanted today from shooting weddings and seeing stuff, but like, I don't know his perspective on it. And once we get to the point that we've saved up enough and we're at a place we want to redo it, we'll definitely have to collaborate and make sure it's what both of us want.
Pretty much my perspective can be summed up in one sentence. How much is it going to cost?
Weddings can get very pricey, so I feel you on that. Kind of jumping back to the show, when I was watching the Super Teas for the upcoming season, I saw Micah is getting more into modeling this season. How has it been like watching his journey with that?
I don't know. I mean, I hope he does well. I haven't really kept up with it, to be honest. He does his own thing, I do my own. So.
I probably have a different perspective being his sister-in-law. And I will say, like, there have been a couple moments that I'm like, oh, I need to bleach my eyes. But I have done some headshots for him occasionally if he needed something. He and I actually collaborate on a fun modeling project during this season, and I'm actually really excited for that to air. So yeah, I mean, I think obviously whatever he chooses to do with his life, we're going to support him. I don't know if he's 100% committed to modeling. I think he's still trying to figure out what he wants to do, but that's his own journey. And I know he's excited to share that journey on this next season.
Well, we will see it all unfold and how that all goes down. I was also going to say, I saw in the trailer that Mariah and Max, things seem to be getting more serious. He was talking about getting a ring. How exciting would that be for them?
That would be pretty exciting for them, and I would be really happy for them too, because I really like the two together. They seem to do well, complement each other.
And Max is also like just fit in so well. The five of us, Max calls Ethan, Micah, Mariah, himself, and I the Fabulous Five, and it's definitely true. We have a ton of fun when we're together. And we'd like Max to be a part of our group for forever.
And it's always super raunchy.
Yes.
Well, kind of shifting gears, TLC has such a large platform for both you and your family. How does it feel for you as a couple, knowing that so many people are invested in your personal lives?
That's something that always runs in the back of your mind. You kind of think like, well, I have to do this because people are looking. And then I feel like after a certain time, you just realize that you have to do what's best for you. And sometimes people are going to judge you either way. And it definitely adds a layer of stress maybe, or worry maybe. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for yourself. And, me personally, I just hope that whatever's filmed, especially between you and me as a couple, that it encourages people and kind of lets other people know that may be going through similar things, that it's normal and you just have to do your best and work through it. And if you do that, then you can't be ashamed because you did everything you did.
I would say, like, on a personal level, it has added accountability for me. And sounds kind of weird to say that, but especially as a person who's evolving, growing, changing, deconstructing, figuring out who I want to be, aside from the world that I was raised in, which is the same world Ethan was raised in. I think while at times it's super hard to navigate becoming, an independent person with the whole world watching and commenting, at the same time, it has provided some accountability and made me, maybe rethink things that I wouldn't otherwise. And strive to be the best version of myself possible.
I feel like I've heard a similar type of answer from a lot of people who've been on sort of reality TV shows where they really have a chance to like look inward and like see how their actions affect others as well when they're watching back the season. So that's interesting you see that.
It's hard to watch it back, especially like when you go through so many big life events and you grow so much as a person in a short time. And I can watch something that was filmed 3 months ago and be like, oh my gosh, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Like in the moment, it was what I knew. And you can grow and change so much, but that's still out there forever. So it's also like learning to give yourself grace as a person as you share a growth process and you're not proud of every step of it.
Yeah, I also feel like I feel like personally, if I were ever on something like this, it would be kind of jarring because I feel like also your memory works different than like what is actually filmed sometimes. So I feel like that would be very interesting. Overall,
you have no idea.
Overall, looking back, what are some of the biggest changes you've seen either personally or professionally since joining on the series?
Really good question. I don't know that I've been asked that before.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about this today. I went to the hardware store and bought some stuff for the house, and it's like walking around in public. I feel like everyone's looking at me. I know it. No one is, or probably hardly anyone is, but just having, say 1 out of 10 times you go to the store or go to the gas station or whatever, someone stops you and wants a picture or wants to talk to you about the season or something like that. You start to like kind of feel like people are watching you. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I can be like thinking like, am I walking funny? Am I like I can overthink things really, and it's completely different than what it was, say 4 years ago. That was not even on my mind. So sometimes just walking around in public feels different. But as far as like career goes, I don't know. I'll have to see.
I will say, I feel like, with the exposure being on TV, like my business has grown so much. And I'm at the point where it's like I have too much work. I feel overworked, but also super grateful for, all my clients that have found me through TV and decided to work with me. It's like that's on a business level. And a personal level, a lot like Ethan said, you just, you get used to people watching you all the time and, what you do, what you say. And I don't know. Yeah, it was weird at first and now it feels normal.